blueprints, I guess. Oop. Okay. Oh god, the background was this. Let's put it like this. What is that constant electricity sound? Where's that coming from? Is that our own car? Is it from inside the garage? Is this thing? I'm so far away from it though. Alright everyone. Oh, we have just finished, we just finished our Pacific Drive journey. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the game, put it on our list, decide if it's the game of the year or not. Spoiler alert, it's not. So as with all the games we play, I went into this with very little like knowledge about the game. I had the inkling that it was going to be a anomaly-driven game about upgrading a car and going on road trips. That's kind of what I thought it was, and that's kind of what the game is. So from that perspective, I guess we got about what we paid for. And I think this is one of those games which happens from time to time where it's like I start out thinking the game is like really good, but the more I play it, it just kind of like tapers off a little bit. Like this game never became bad, but it just kind of like instead of just my like enjoyment of the game going up and up and up and up, it just kind of like staggered a little bit. And I think this came from a couple of places. Like when you start the game out, you're at the best part of the game, I would say, which is the unknown stage of the game, which is where the game shines the most. It's when you take the car out for the first time and you don't really know what to expect. You don't know what you're looking for. You don't know what is going to happen to you, and everything is new. You know, I see an anomaly. I saw that flying, the abductor, and I'm like, what the hell is that thing, right? And then it like grabs your car and it's like pulling you along, and suddenly the field starts tightening on you, and there's a giant thing that you have to drive into. You know, there's like a lot of things happening that where everything feels fresh and new, and it's interesting and scary, which is a lot of fun. That feeling continues for a long while in the game. It's not like that happens only the first time you take the car out. That continues. You return with the car. You get access to a bunch of upgrades, and you learn that, oh, you know, you have to keep this car running, and you have a storage space, and you can put things in the storage space, and it's like, oh, you got to bring tools with you, and you can upgrade the tools, and there's a bunch of cool stuff like that, which is really cool. With the implications kind of being that, you know, you need to prepare the car for whatever journey you're doing with it, and you get more and more tools to kind of prepare your journey and to know what you're in for in the journey, and all that stuff is really good. And it keeps me fun for a pretty long while. Like I never truly got bored with it, but I think like a couple of streams ago, I got to the point where it's like where there's two things happening that I think are a little bit detrimental to the game. Number one is that I feel like as you progress, you kind of realize that a lot of the things you unlock don't really matter necessarily, right? You get once you have the important things, which are all the racks and like your upgrade to your backpack and to your inventory space, at that point you have like whatever you outfit the car with, it doesn't feel like it matters. It doesn't feel like it matters if you have insulated panel, if you have LED panels, if you have armor panels. And honestly, it feels like the armor panels are just better because they just kind of like generally protect you against more. While stuff like the insulated panels are just going to protect you if you're stupid enough to drive into like an electric field or whatever, right? It's not like there's a lot of like threats. There are a lot of things that are electric or acid, but they are generally speaking things that you have to mess up to drive into. While generally the armor panel is just gonna like suit you better, I think. So from that perspective, it just kind of feels like a lot of the car upgrades are kind of pointless. Same with like the tires. I think if I replay the game, I'll go for off-road tires way quicker. But now I just have the all-terrain tires, so none of the other tires matter, right? Like, why would I not just use the all-terrain tires that kind of like work pretty well on all terrain rather than being really good in one specific terrain? Because you're never taking the car 100% off-road, and you're never taking it 100% on a road. So all-terrain tires just the best, right? The headlights too, like I don't know, I haven't tried all the headlights, but it's just like I just have the best headlights right now as far as I'm aware, right? So the only thing you really that really becomes like a thing you can switch out are the like accessories, like the stuff that we have. We can do a little car tour. The stuff that we have on the side of the car, right? I have the hydrogen generator for power. I have a side battery. I have the XL roof storage. I have this resource radar, which is broken. Side fuel tank, mini turbine, and then we have like the high capacity battery in here. We have the limb shield. We have this auto parker. We have our magnetic bumper, right? It's like that stuff is actually up to preference. You know, maybe you don't care about the resource radar. You would rather have something else up there. We got some gadgets never got to try out. We have the automatic spotlight, and we have some like time stopper thing, and we have something that like lets the car jump, or like there's a bunch of other stuff that you could potentially put in the car. But ultimately, a lot of that just feels like personal preference, and it doesn't feel necessary, which is kind of my problem with it, right? Like, I did all the game with this basic setup on the normal difficulty, and I never died. I got close a couple of times. One time we got close today because I was just being stupid, but a lot of the time it's just kind of like, you know, I never felt like any of the extra things were necessary. They're just kind of like whatever you prefer. If you prefer to have some bonus fuel, you can do that, or you can just bring more fuel with you or find fuel on the road. If you prefer to have some power generation, you can do that, or you can just not use too much power, right? There's a... it doesn't really feel like it makes much of a difference, which is fine, right? It's just personal preference. That's cool. It doesn't have to be all super interesting and special, right? It's just whatever, however you want to build a car, that's how you build a car, and that's kind of like the intention of the game, I think. I don't think they're trying to make anything be mandatory. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is that gathering the resources becomes more and more boring, in my opinion, as you unlock more of the game, right? As I understand more of the game, going to returning to how's this guy doing? Returning to like the swamp to grab swamp coral over and over and over and over again because I need 600 of them to upgrade, or swamp eggs to upgrade something, like that's just not fun. And the game does have a natural way that you can get that as you progress into the game, right? Like, oh, I'm traveling to the smokestack, so I'll travel through the swamp and like grab the resources as I'm traveling there. But ultimately, it's just like you're just kind of doing the same thing over and over and over again in the game. And for the most part, there's no threat there. There's nothing dangerous happening. Any threat to you is almost exclusively going to be self-inflicted. It's going to be me doing something stupid or being risky or deciding that I'm going to do something rather than the game presenting a threat to me, right? So the entire gameplay loop kind of becomes like, get in the car, drive someplace, oh, there's a building, let me go loot the building. Oh, I found 10 fabric, nice, I need some fabric, okay, oh, there's some swamp eggs, like, get in the car, drive a little bit more. Like, that's kind of the entire gameplay loop, with very little threat to you, very little variation once you've been to the different areas, right? And overall, it's like, it's all fine, but that's kind of like where I feel like the game fell apart a little bit to me. Like, I was thinking like, oh, we'll do the expeditions. The expeditions sound a little bit interesting. They sound a little bit like what I would want. Because in the expeditions, you're limited, and they produce more and more challenges for you to make the game more and more difficult. But, and I thought like, oh, once we're done with the main story, we'll just do the expeditions, right? But now that I'm done with the main story, I'm thinking like, why would I do the expeditions? I have the perfect car. I have all the best parts from the car. I have, you know, if you run over to this thing, I have more resources than God, right? Like, you know, how far do I have to scroll here? Right? We have infinite resources essentially. So I don't need any resources from the expeditions. So at that point, we're just doing like a self-imposed challenge, and that's cool. If you really love this game, you probably love doing those self-imposed challenges. And it has to be said that it is an incredible vibe to just drive the car. That stuff is awesome. The way the car drives feels really, really good. I'm using a controller, but you can do it with mouse and keyboard too, of course. Listening to the radio, just kind of like, you know, smoothing, driving through the streets, super, super cool and fun. So I think all of that was like overall super enjoyable. But it just like, I think Pacific Drive 2 can be really, 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 really good, and Pacific Drive 1 is great as well, but it definitely like stagnated at that point for me. I get why people love this game, I get why people replay it. I think playing it on harder difficulty could be fun. But well, I guess actually, I guess the third problem. There's a third problem which I just remembered. And the third problem is that the way the game deals with resource dumping feels a little bit frustrating and pointless. The way it does resource dumping basically is that all your tools break, which means that you end up having to reproduce your tools and carry multiple tools if you want to get a lot of stuff, right? And that doesn't necessarily feel very good to me. It feels a little bit like I'm constantly spending resources on tools to get more resources, and usually it's cost effective. Of course, I would say generally speaking, you would have to work really hard for it not to be cost effective, but it just kind of feels like an unnecessary step in the game to me. Like, I don't know why the tools need to break. I don't know why the tools have durability. I don't know what that really brings to the game other than kind of forcing you to get home, but you'll have to go home eventually anyway. You don't have infinite time in all the zones, so it kind of feels like it's like double stacking a little bit. Like, I can't use my magnetic hammer infinitely, but I also can't be in the zone infinitely. So it's just like, fourth problem, my King Soul is powerful. And along with that, in terms of resource dumping, is the stuff breaking, right? Like, my resource radar has that X symbol you can see over there, which means that the resource radar is is now broken. It's unreliable. It will now start malfunctioning more and more, and eventually it won't be able to be repaired anymore. It will just break down completely. And that can happen to any parts of your car at any point during your journey. So for instance, this last trip we just did, my car tires all started becoming unreliable and breaking. And what that means is that I need to constantly leave the car to repair them, because if the car tires don't work, the car drives slower, it's less reactive, and it will like start wearing off the road. And you need repair kits to do that. And this is like part of that resource management problem. It's like, you need to have all these goddamn repair kits with you, and or you can bring the raw resources, I guess, but that's also a lot of work. And it just feels really, really, really like boring to me. That's like, oh, you know, I'm driving the car. We're in the car right now. Rin, rin, rin. Rin, 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 rin. Oh, my car tire broke. All right. Leave the car. Go back here. Grab the sealing kit. Alright, done. Put that back here, of course, because I don't want that inventory, because, you know, maybe I have a smaller inventory at this point. Alright. Get back in the car again. Oh, we're driving. Run, 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 run. Oh, run, 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 run. Oh, the other tire broke. Okay. Let me get out of the car. Alright, let me grab my sealing kit. Alright, put it back in. You know, you're just like... That feels like a boring gameplay loop to me. I don't like that part of the game at all. I don't mind the things breaking over time. I don't mind there being like random things you have to fix during your trip, but it feels like they can overlap in a way that doesn't feel good, and it feels like the way the repairs work is bad. Like, I don't like having 16 different kits in my trunk that I need to repair the car with. I feel like they should have had like a multi-tool or some sort of mini game or literally anything else. Right? You know, oh, the engine is malfunctioning. Okay, let me open it up. Let me, like, do an animation, like, you know, I don't want to, like, oh, the engine is malfunctioning. Let me run back here, grab the mechanic kit, hit the engine 3 times, run back here, put the mechanic kit, right? Like, that doesn't feel good to me. Speaking of good. So, yeah, I think that was, like... I think that entire mechanic is just suboptimal, in my opinion. I would have way preferred something else there rather than what it is right now, because that was probably the thing that started like grating on me the most. It's like, I'm out here trying to get resources, and it's like, oh, right tire dead, left tire dead, battery's leaking, this thing is leaking, and the way you deal with that isn't interesting. It's just boring, right? It's just get out of the car, do the thing, get back into the car again, right? And we had a lot of really cool, intense moments because of these things, right? We had some moments where it's like, the car's on the roof, all my tires are broken, I don't have my lights anymore, I'm driving to a goddamn tunnel, and that's really, really cool. I super enjoyed that. I'm like almost dying, really intense, but for the most part, it was just a hassle. But yeah, I think the story in the game is fine. I thought the ending was bad, just because it's like, I don't get why we're walking through monitor hell for 30 minutes. I feel like it feels like you could just be in the car there, have some minigame in the car or something, instead of you know, walking around. I don't know why we turn into a walking simulator suddenly with a bunch of narration happening while you're like rushing through these TV corridors. But overall, I like the characters. I thought they actually were like pretty compelling. And the one big thing I think I would do for this game, because I stopped reading these after a while, because a lot of the things in the game have these logs attached to them, and honestly, the one big thing if I'm making Pacific Drive Remastered or whatever, the ultimate edition of this game, I'm voicing all these. I think that would be a really, really good way to spend their money, because these are not bad. They're pretty well written and they're interesting. But the problem is that like you have to the game isn't paused right now while I'm in this menu, first of all, which means that if I encountered an Olympian vein while I'm in a mission, which you would, right? I can't just pause the game and read about it, because if I do that, there's stuff happening around me. I'm being radiated and dying. The zone begins closing in, right? I don't have the time to read this in the moment. I have to remember to read it when I get back to the garage. But sometimes I'm already like in like repair mode at that point, right? And I don't necessarily want to stop and read. So I think a good middle ground would just be have them be voiced, right? Listening to the voice stuff, like some of these audio recordings are voiced, and listening to these during the trip, it was actually really, really cool. I love that. But I'm not necessarily like interested in like reading all of it myself. So like these were great. I don't know where the specific like voice ones are here, but yeah, these ones. News before second. But yeah, these were great. So yeah, with all that said and done, maybe controversial opinion, guys, but I think obviously this is a 10 out of 10. I mean, well, what else could it possibly be? Music in the game was also great. I'm probably gonna put some of those songs on my actual playlist. Wait, it's over? Oh yeah, it's over. It's done so. I'm probably gonna put some of those songs on my actual playlist, so... So here's how I scale. 10 is a flawless masterpiece, 9 is everyone should play this, 8 is a great experience worth playing, 7 good play if it sounds fun, 6 alright play if you like the genre, 5 average, 1 to 4 avoid at all cost. 4 out of 10 for 4 VD, yeah. I think that this game is really good, and I think that it does a lot of interesting things. There's a lot of things I would change in the game personally. There's a lot of things I would do differently. There's a lot of issues I have with various parts of the game, but overall I had a pretty good time with it. It didn't overstay its welcome. Actually, how long did we play this game? 37.5 hours, so around average. So on our normalized scale, where you know, even a 6 is a pretty decent score. I think I would put. I think I would put a Pacific Drive in like the middle 7s. I think this is a good score for it. I think for me this is like, it's definitely above like a genre game. A genre game to me is only play this if you like these specific types of games. I think a lot of different people could enjoy this game. But I think I think with some of the like things that detract from the game, I think in the middle of the 7s is probably a good spot for it. I really think if it like deserves to be a little bit higher, like I'm thinking like, should I give it like a 7-9 maybe? Is it close enough to the 8s? I think in the middle of 7s is good. I think for me this game is in that center. It's between the like, if this is your type of game, it's great and worth playing. Or if you really like the specific genre, you probably like, you know, in the middle there is the perfect spot for it. I feel like Open Critic is probably gonna be, oh, it's only an 8. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, pretty reasonable score for me then. I was expecting like an 8.9 or something, because I think on On Steam, is this overwhelmingly positive? Oh, it's mostly positive. Oh, okay. Okay, so my rating is actually pretty on par with what other people think then. Finishing does not answer a single... Yeah, that's true. No questions for answer. That's actually a good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah, this is also a really good point I didn't think about. Like, you really aren't doing much of what it said in the title of the game, and that is driving. The game leans heavily into crafting, upgrading, which slows down the pacing and makes it feel more tedious and engaging. Yeah. That is true. This game, I wonder if I walked more in this game than I drove. Like in terms of actually in terms of like hours played, that's probably 100% what happened, right? We probably spent more time walking around than we did driving in terms of hours played. Wow, this looks very interesting. Hello. Yeah. Let's see here. Let me go to my GG thing. Let's put Pacific Drive here. Pacific. And then I need to find a blueprints. I need to find a blueprints image so we can, blueprints that I can put on as a start screen. Ooh, PlayStation has a big boy image. I'll just use Steam's one for now, though, even though it's like really low quality. Let's see. Stream, OBS, title screens, generic, blueprints, gen. Let me quit Pacific Drive. Ooh, that saved 43 minutes ago. That would have been bad. Alright, let's take again at the difficulty option before we end this. So if I started a new game, let's say I did a jump start. Does it not let you choose a difficulty in this one? Oh, it didn't let me choose a difficulty, what the hell? I mean, I think you can change the difficulty in game, but... Oh yeah, weird. So, we did Pacific Drive, everything is average here. You can do Nuclear Journey. Air rapidly filled with low dose radiation that harmful players. Storms are faster and stronger, higher and damage are more plentiful. Okay. Terrain and status of the car impact driving more. Items to repair the car are more costly to craft and can't be crafted on the run. Lives with the game are much harder. Lives with the game are much harder and failing on... Okay. Like, this difficulty doesn't even sound fun. The car gets damaged more, and the items to repair the car are more costly, and they can't be crafted on the run. So it just means that I would have to fill my car with 80 sealing kits. Like, that doesn't sound fun to me. That doesn't sound like a fun type of damage, or of difficulty to me, but... oh. I forgot to start installing blueprints. Whoops. That's only 4.9 gigs. Alright, let's jump over here.